Before we begin the video, I would like to give a shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys for supporting my channel and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, Crazy Greg here with my good friend CCMoonStar23. Today we are going to do a video game review on the new Sonic game, Team Sonic Racing. And we're going to tell you guys if it's good or not, have all that yada yada etc etc. Say hello, by the way.
I was gonna wonder if I was allowed to speak.
You are allowed to speak.
Well, I'm not rude, so I want to be polite.
Okay, well, before we begin on the main topic, we just want to say this. We think Team Sonic Racing is fun, but it has its flaws, and we need to talk about it. So, let's get started, shall we? But before I do, what did you think of Team Sonic Racing?
I highly enjoyed it myself. Like, I went through the story mode, I finished it on the Switch version.
Yeah.
I don't know where to begin, but character-wise, gameplay-wise, story-wise, a lot of pros and cons, but I still enjoy it all the same, especially like a lot of stuff we discovered off-screen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, both me and CC both played the game on Switch. I played it first on Xbox, and then I decided to play it on Switch, mainly because I care.
And you can't have not too many party games.
Well, just want to make sure I have those game nights.
Yeah, we definitely need more game nights after what we discover do online play.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, let's get to the point, shall we? So we're gonna be talking about many things about this game and why we think it's good and why we think it's bad. All right, first off, story. What did you think of this story, Cece?
I find it interesting. Like, okay, it feels like a Sonic Heroes vibes and everything. Just like in every beginnings, like strange invitations, like you're invited to a party or you're invited to a fight. Nope, this time you're invited to a race by a mysterious person with no background story of who this character is.
Right.
And I was questioning like this so-called the Nampa, the new Eggman Mobian, and yeah, the Donpa, my mistake.
Yeah.
Or I call it the Eggman Mobian.
Yeah. This guy has a mustache like Eggman, and the way he is, the way he acts, and the dumb fact that he's probably what Sega would have made Eggman if he was like Sonic and the rest of them.
But I'm just confused, like why call him a Tanuki? What's wrong with calling him a raccoon?
Would you rather he be called a feral raccoon?
That has a better ring to it than just a Tanuki. I feel like I'm still playing a Mario Party.
Wish I could give you the proper answers on that one, but nope.
Well, maybe I should need to talk to Blaze the cat since she knows more about these creatures.
Didn't you say they were con artists?
Tanuki are notorious tricksters, and I'm reluctant to be a pawn in your schemes, no matter how intriguing.
Trickster con artists. They like to play tricks, and they could be very deceiving, according to Blaze the cat.
Yeah, and there was also that one time when Blaze was all like this.
Vector, I am a princess. People lie to me daily. It is my job to find the truth, so I know who I can trust.
It was like a nice change to bring back some of the characters. Like, last time I seen these characters, like, not like a story, per se, like forces, for comparison. But for like a party game, like, last time I seen them, that was back in like the Olympic Games. Like, my last one was Mario and Sonic at the London Olympic Games, and that's when I see mostly Silver and Blaze.
Right. But yeah.
I would say, Greg, what was your favorite part of the story?
To be honest, there weren't many. The only good parts, in my opinion, were the tension between Shadow and Sonic, Judon Pa telling Eggman his flaw, which I thought was like, finally. And I thought the racing was also fun too, but then it was also the egg pawn elimination thing, and I thought that was really fun.
That was my favorite mission out of all of they gave us. And I think pretty much like you and I stood the same along with everyone else that we all, I'm not saying despise, but really don't like the ring challenge.
Oh no, the ring challenge. Oh my gosh, no!
Collecting the rings is simple, but going through the rings, forget it.
Apparently, I found out that you have to be at the center of each ring to get the perfect score. Because if you're on the side, you're not gonna get it. Or if you touch, you're not gonna get the full score. But if you touch the pole, oh man, you're not gonna get crap.
Especially if you start off like if you go through the red rings like 5 times, the max is 1.5, and that doubles your rings. But if you smack into the pole, you have to start all over, and it drains very fast. So you have to keep up with your multiplier before, if you want to go through the other side, the yellow rings, to get double the rings and points.
Yep, and then it took me a while to realize that you need a character with better handling to deal with this problem. So
and
basically,
it requires a lot of drifting.
Yes, a lot of drifting. So basically, either you use Tails, Rouge the Bat, whatever Eggman has on his side. No idea.
Silver wins.
Oh yeah, Silver. Yeah. I don't like his voice actor. I mean, well, technically, I do like his voice actor. He's in my favorite stuff. I don't like his voice per se. Okay, seriously.
Well, I know I said before, the first time we heard his voice when you were streaming it at one point, I was iffy with Silver's voice, but after I found out who his voice actor was and what other roles he played in, I've gotten used to it. But I think it's mostly your character we don't like right now.
Oh, let's wait. Let's wait a second, okay? Let's get into let's get into that in a bit here after a few things. Okay, so the story's good. I gave it, to be honest with you, I'm torn between 6 or 7 out of 10 to really be honest. And gameplay wise, it's a racing game. What more can you want? But at the same time, it feels way too much like a Mario Kart this time with all those cool stuff you get. It really feels like a Mario Kart clone.
I'll give the story like a 7 as well. It's not very cinematic compared to most video games, but again, this was a cheap game too. It was not worth the whole $60 worth.
Oh yeah.
Video game. So
yeah.
we didn't expect much.
Yeah, and we'll tell you why this game feels like it's cheap in just a bit. All right,
and
now
for gameplay, I'll give it like a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, at least the game's fun. That's all I can say. Now, on to the next thing. And this one was probably a big, huge A+ for the game. All Sonic characters have more dialogue than they've had in years.
Now, the thing with the dialogue is, if you go through the story, of course, you'd play in the cinematic order. But apparently, when you do that, there's the thing we discovered, like, they use kind of rehashed cutscenes, like the same lines over and over. It doesn't follow the story very well.
Actually, I found out that's not entirely true. I mean, well, it is, but the thing is that if you're going, apparently, the game is basically telling you need to follow each stage by order number. If you go off that, then obviously you're going to get the same cutscene again. Like say if you had 2 different versions to choose from. But if you decide to follow it by number order, you would just go through the story. You wouldn't get those cutscenes again.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I figured that out probably the first few times.
Maybe I have to redo when I play the Xbox version.
Wow. Characters also interact with each other during the gameplay, and they do it in such a way that seems a bit out of character.
Yeah, it's not like this time they seem a little somewhat smarter than usual. It's like, is there like taking like over like 30 minutes or into an hour to figure out like what's the big plot behind this entire race? It's like, but in this, they just jumped the gun knowing, okay, we can't trust the Donpa.
No, we can't. Let's look. Now, hold on a minute. Before we get to that point, when you said Big. Now let's talk about Big the cat. Oh my gosh, he's an idiot, but at the same time, he's a smart idiot.
And after it took how many years to finally give him a smart role for once?
Yeah, he actually says something quite smart in this game. And I will not and I don't want to spoil the game story too much, really, but I'm just gonna say this. He's like, the Wisp knows who's good or bad, right? Then how come they hang around Dudonpaw? Yeah, and you know what's funny? I forgot about that a long time ago. I think there was something in the lore where the Wisp are attracted to good souls, if I recall correctly. Is that true?
That's usually true because knowing much from like colors and everything, only the Wisps like surrounded Tails and Sonic because they're the only ones they could trust besides Eggman and his army robots.
Exactly.
But and these are not like everyday power-ups either. These are like living creatures, so they could tell like who's a good soul and who's a bad soul.
Yeah, and they're aliens.
Friendly aliens.
Yep, pretty much. Don't need to go out and whip E.T.'s ass.
No, based on the gameplay I've shown you, you have to make sure you don't break the Wisp because they could turn into something else.
Yes, a laser problem happened and a man went through the frickin' floor.
After I saw that, G-Ma moment, face through the floor.
Now back to the point. All the characters have more dialogue. They have a lot to say in this game. It's cool, it's nice, new, refreshing, and for once, it's not just Sonic talking and a new side character talking all the time. Everyone talks. But there is one thing I have to give flack at this game for. It's the number of characters that are released in this game. And I hate to say it, but compared to the last racing game with Sonic, even though that was basically a Sega All-Stars game where it wasn't just the Sonic characters, you only get 15 characters in this game.
Basically, the number of characters of teams is course Team Sonic, Team Rose, Team... I don't want to say why, how he's on this team, Team Vector, and Team Eggman.
I call that one Team Blaze, in my opinion.
I do too.
Yeah. Yeah, this is also... Okay, here's a weird thing, okay? In the story, Vector is teamed up with Blaze and Silver. I'm constantly raising the question, where the heck were SBO and Charmy? And throughout the story, they're mentioned, but Vector with Blaze and Silver? They couldn't get Cream?
I prefer Cream over Vector. It's like, Vector wasn't even in 06, but...
No, he wasn't.
Seeing a crocodile with Blaze and Silver known as time travelers, it doesn't seem a good fit to me. SBO and Charmy do get mentioned in the story, but I'll save that like another time until you guys discover yourself in the story.
Mm-hmm. Like CC said, there's only Team Sonic, which was with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and then there's Team Rose with basically the technically only, not really. What the heck am I saying? With Amy, Big, and the Chow, and with their missing Cream. Yeah, they decided to have the Chow as a race character. Even though they could have easily added Cream as a racing character, but instead they decided to put the Chow when the Chow could be with Cream in the same car, just like there's multiple Chows in one car already. So I asked myself, is Cream becoming irrelevant to us or to Sega?
That's the way I see it. Like, she hasn't made an appearance in quite some time now, and this is just like a friendly racing game. What I shouldn't say friendly, considering the fact like how these characters interact with each other during the races, not just the story mode.
Mm-hmm.
You really see Cream street talk or bash talk to the other characters at a young age as she's at now.
I think I can. I mean, she could probably do it in a cute way.
I would love to see that, and like she did that in
like this. Sorry, Mr. Sonic.
Well, I'd love to see when she interacts with Shadow.
Hey. Sorry, Mr. Dark, but I had a win.
That'd be so adorable.
It would be.
The thing with the Chow is I know what direction we're going with. It was nice to see regular Hero and Dark Chow as a team, but I feel like that was really unnecessary because they're in the crowds, and Chow, okay, like he's
Yeah,
not annoying
it
this
did.
time.
The chows feel unnecessary completely because that's basic. That's supposed to be Cream's spot from Heroes, and I don't know why the creators thought it was a good idea to replace Cream with just the chows, but it just doesn't work for me, in my opinion.
In my opinion, they should have said, instead of having all the chows, like it should be Cream with at least cheese, at least one chow, and probably Chow be the translator for cheese.
Exactly.
That will work out.
Yeah. Oh well, and now this brings us to our next important thing, customizing the race cars. And I hate to say it, guys, but it's lacking. Big time lacking.
It's fun and everything. There's like certain custom parts you have to unlock throughout the story or complete certain missions, and it's fun to like customize the cars and everything. But there's certain parts that you have to like get certain credits for to unlock the part. Those are reusable parts.
Yes. Apparently, getting the golden parts for the car don't do you anything. They're just for show. And the other thing is, they're actually the same. They're actually the same first 3 upgrades to the car you get. And then when you get their gold versions, they're just the same ones. There's no extra perks. There's no extra speed. There's no extra handling. They're just the same thing.
Basically, they want to play like Golden Mario, all in gold.
yeah, but that's the thing. Mario Kart had more, customization to offer than this.
And that's to each character, not just for just 6 parts per character.
Yeah, 6 parts. No, actually 3, and 3 race. Well, actually no. If I count them all together, 9 parts for each character to unlock. And then the extra 9, which are pointless unless you want to use a certain type of your car in a gold form that matches the color palette you're looking for.
Yeah, because like basically, like depending like which race they're using and what skill they have, it really doesn't make that much difference. You just use the basic parts to unlock, and the gold parts is kind of a waste of time.
It is. It really is. Which I think this game could have, used more of a customization. Obviously, they focus more on the story in this game than they did with everything else, and the tracks. And speaking of the tracks, that's where I believe most of the effort went to in this game, because the tracks are pretty fun and innovative.
There was a lot of interesting tracks when you and I raced together online. They're really good, especially on some are throwback games. Like, I'm not sure we should reveal like what tracks they will experience if they haven't played it yet.
Yep.
But what would you say is your favorite track out of all of them?
I forgot its name, but it's Eggman's Work Factory because it plays my old Sonic Adventure theme song. For
me, it's good classic Rooftop Run.
Okay, that's my second favorite. My third favorite would be the ice level from Sonic Unleashed.
Yes.
Yep.
I noticed like some of the tracks were like kind of reused because I played Sonic Transformed on the Wii U way back then, and I believe it was Seaside Hill was practically the same thing.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
That was kind of a disappointment when I discovered that.
Yeah, well, obviously Sega doesn't have a big budget in gaming anymore.
And it's kind of no surprise since Sumo Digital is the same creator that did Transform.
Well, if you ask me, it's either have the original creators that made the last game fun, or have some new third party kind of ruin it.
Yeah, that's also true. It's like out of how many times we've gone through rehash, use levels, music tracks, and everything else above.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and the music. Oh jeez, the music it's to die for. I'll tell you that right now.
There's like so many good music tracks in that one. It's like it's mixed in with remixes, so I couldn't tell like what's playing. Especially the playing one certain level, like it sounds familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Like I just don't know where to begin until someone told me like what was it originally from.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we can't entirely remember where they're from, but we do know this. It's good to listen to, and the racing in it just makes it all more fun. Alright, well, moving on, and here comes my rants. Oh my. The Sonic characters are out of character in this game. Especially,
Not some, all of them.
I never said some. And I have to go Shadow on this one.
Sonic, I'm the ultimate life form. I could never lose to you.
Team's glitching or something.
Nope, it's...
My team and I are gonna roll over you.
I do not talk like that! This imposter talking like me is an idiot! Shadow the Hedgehog is a cringe in this game. I'm sorry. The way he talks when he races, he's a cringe!
You're not alone. You're not alone, Greg. Myself, along with my other friends, when we first discovered this, like, oh my god, ugh. Like, some of his lines is just not fitting. Especially when you play him as a character.
They are not. Every time I hear him, I think back to the stupid version. The stupidity of Sonic Boom. I'm like, God! Seriously, we don't need that stupid humor in this game at all. I mean, shit. And hell, Shadow's words are so cringy. You could just like, you could pretty much have yourself say, "Shut up, Shadow, this. Shut up, Shadow, that." Jeez. My favorite character ruined, in my opinion.
Like, the only thing that sounds the same is Omega out of Team Dark.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk. Oh, yeah, and let's talk about Rouge. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna give this one the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Rouge actually sounds like Rouge. If you go back to playing Sonic Adventure 2, you'll realize that they probably chose this voice of Rouge mainly because it has a similar resemblance to the Rouge's voice in Sonic Adventure 2. But the way Rouge talks in this game, the way she says things, they're awkwardly weird. I would say other words, but I don't want to get demonetized. and here's another thing. The game made me say something stupid, okay? Especially when I hear Rouge talking. And the one thing she said that surprised me is this. She says, "Mama told me this would happen." I'm like, and I'm asking myself, who's your mama? And then I'm like, realizing it, I said something stupid.
But that's bringing up a funny idea, but like, we haven't seen many Batmobians in like forever.
And who's her mother? I didn't even think she even had a mother.
I didn't either. That was like new to me. It's like, since when did you start saying that, Rouge?
Yeah. And then there's Omega. Omega sounds the same. Pretty much the same. But enough of Team Dark and their weirdness. Let's go to Team Sonic. Sonic is a jerk. Oh my God. He's a jerk in this game. Tails is Tails. Knuckles is Knuckles. But Sonic, my goodness, he's a jerk.
Throughout the story mode, the way he interacts with Silver, I was so mad.
Yeah,
it was like,
Sonic tries to troll Silver a lot. And I'm asking myself, why are you trolling Silver? What is wrong with you?
It's like, again, once you guys play the story mode, you'll see what we mean when it comes to Silver and Sonic when they interact with each other. Oh, man.
Oh, and let's talk about Shadow and Sonic interacting with each other. The whole thing reminded me like the entire sequence was a Dragon Ball Z Goku versus Vegeta thing.
And that's not the first time I hear that comparison when it comes to those hedgehogs.
I know, right? Seriously. But we don't want to tell you too much, but I'm going to tell you this. When you play this game, you'll have fun, you'll enjoy it, but the characters, some of them, or maybe most of them, can be a cringe. Just letting you know.
So prepare yourself.
Yes. And now comes to the other part that I was so upset about. We are living in the year of 2019. 2019. And they are using lazy cinematics for the game's story, when they could have easily taken advantage of the power of the Switch, the power of the Xbox One, and the power of the PS4. But no, the cutscenes are this.
It's basically like in what I call it, aka a puppet show.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a puppet show with the real voices getting a very, very low budget money.
It's like, again, it's like I'm not surprised. Like, again, this was not a full $60 game, but I can see now where they cut back on when it comes to these characters and their cinematic cutscenes.
Yeah, we're living in a time of modern, and yet once again, ever since Forces, you could see that the difference of how they're doing their cinematics is becoming very lacking, and this game has no any epic cinematics whatsoever.
And based on like what I compare when it comes to Sonic games and everything, this is just a party game, so of course it's not quote unquote canon to like the main story Sonic mainframe.
Who would know where to go in what direction in this game?
Okay, I'll put it in simple terms. Like, life-threatening Sonic game, there's gotta be cinematic cutscenes. Regular party games such as racing or anything else, you're not gonna get cinematic cutscenes. So it's like, to them, it's not worth it.
The first Sonic Riders did that better, and that one actually had a good fun gameplay time, unlike the sequels.
You don't have to have like cinematic cutscenes like throughout the entire game. Just have it for the beginning, the middle, and the ending. That's all you need. Filler, simple, done.
Yeah, but it just shows that Sega has a low budget these days now, and the living proof is they're finally releasing Phantasy Star 2 online to the world instead of keeping it in Japan only.
I guess there's some hope, I suppose.
Maybe not. I mean, I know that Phantasy Star 2 is quite famous with a bunch of my friends, and they've actually been playing the Japanese version. So obviously it'll be fun, but that'll really all depends on if the fandom of Sega really wants to play a very, very old online game.
It's like I try to keep my hopes up.
I know, but I'm slowly losing hope for Sega every time. So, but we're not here to talk about Sega being a total flip-flop. So we're gonna continue on. The annoying slot machine. Alright, now here's the deal. Throughout the story, throughout just playing on your own, throughout just playing some multiplayer or custom games with your friends or with random people, you get these racing points, and they're used for this slot machine to help you get these items and parts for your cars. The only problem is that it takes up 10 coins each, and there's no maybe give it 20, 40, 70 coins to at least make your chances high for something cool. No, it's just 10 each, and it's tedious at best.
So you basically have to keep spamming the B button to just keep spamming. Like, okay, give me the next pod, give me the next lottery,
or the A button, depending on what platform you're playing on.
True. And it's like they give you a bunch of repeats. You might get lucky, get a legendary, but like I'm yet to discover like once you unlock everything, I think you just go basically get the Wisp power ups throughout the entire game.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I see too. Yeah, using the slot machines to help you win in the story mode is good, but also it can also be helpful when playing with friends online as well, and of course, on playing with randoms online as well. I said that twice. Sorry.
It's good. And the thing is too is like don't rely on the slot machine most of the time because you might get repeats yet again. There are certain things you have to unlock throughout the story mode, and that's kind of going to bring on to our next topic with the difficulty you choose for each stage. It goes from normal, hard, or expert.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, when I first stepped into that, oh man, the entire game made you a target.
Which difficulty did you choose?
I went through hard, and all of a sudden, randomly, everyone just wanted to attack me, even though I wasn't in first place. So it's basically this. Playing the game on normal by yourself is probably the best course of action. But if you wanted to really get the full challenge and annoyance of the game, hard or expert is what will give you a frustration.
I'm dealing with my frustrations with some of the expert levels. Like, oh my god, you kidding me? Especially when you're on the Grand Prix level on expert. That is so annoying.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, good luck getting all. Yeah, oh, and this is another thing. This is another thing about the difficulty of this game as well. In this game, you can't do everything on your own, especially when you're doing the whole team thing. You have to help your friends who are on your team win. Because when you play the Grand Prix levels, basically where they're located at on the racetrack, what place they're at is important. Getting them in the first 3 is very important if you want to win. Because if they are not, your chances of winning the Grand Prix is slim.
And I had one of those moments. I played an expert during a Grand Prix. I was short by 1 point because one of my teammates came in like 10 or 12th place.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to start the Grand Prix all over again. Usually the Grand Prix takes like, depending like what you're doing, say like I would say an estimate like an hour or more or so. And I give up. I'm done.
Yep. It's basically the challenge is still in the story mode because there's still the stars to unlock. There's still these keys to get, which I've yet to get them all. Really, I've yet to get them all.
Yeah, it's only when you're lucky too, because some of the keys are in those tedious rain missions as well, and it's like, especially they wanted to do it so perfectly, and that's also another point we didn't bring up too. To clear a certain mission, it's based on bronze, silver, gold, and then platinum. Platinum is the max of everything. That's a perfect, and you'll get a better score.
Yeah, that's right. Go on.
So basically, when you play the story mode for the first time, if you clear a certain mission, you gotta get at least silver or metal in order to go into the next level. You just get bronze, you're not gonna pass, and you just gotta start the level over. In certain missions, the game's gonna tell you is like, okay, you need to win the Grand Prix alone to get the key. You had to fill a certain requirement to get it, meaning like you have to get a platinum medal in order to unlock the key, and those keys will help you unlock other missions throughout story mode, and possibly depending on the difficulty, you can also unlock certain secrets. I won't reveal it, but it's something part for your car. I'll put it in that way.
Figures.
Yeah, that's why I'm struggling right now for the Switch.
Yeah, now let me tell you my frustration when it came to that stuff. My first frustration was the drifting to keep my timer up when getting those damn coins.
Yeah, throughout this entire...
That
oh
was
my
tough.
god, the drifting.
The drifting.
Most of the missions is required drifting.
Yeah, the game's a drift fest. That's all it is, a drift fest. Even though it says Team Sonic Racing, more like Team Sonic Drifting. That's what it is. It's a
It's a Tokyo drift.
But yeah,
Sonic drifting hard. That's all I can
gameplay
say.
wise of difficulty, you've got to be one lucky guy and a pro to get through this one.
Just a key hint, I would give this much of advice. Play as a technique character with a lot of handling. That will save you a lot of frustration.
Alright, well, moving on. And this is probably the one where the game really, really gets you. Which is a nice perk, if you ask me. The villain is not the villain. You see, when the game first starts, Dodon Paw, the Tanuki raccoon, sure came as looking like a villain. Everyone, all the Sonic characters just doubted him because he looked like he was an Eggman. And his motives were questionable. He kind of made it sound like at first that he was really trying to kill you all.
With that face, I believe it.
Yeah. Really?
It's like he's got like the mustache of Eggman, but he has like the face of Big.
Right? But as the story goes, you find out that he's doing this mainly because he has an agenda. And that agenda is world peace.
Not domination.
Nope.
Peace.
World peace.
And I kind of see what they did with there, because that's basically what real life races is all about. They race for world peace, or some other charity event.
Yeah, but the problem is, and this is where the game really kind of is upsetting. The game makes you think a lot that he is a villain, but it takes the idiot Big to tell you that, but he's not a bad guy. It takes a guy like him to point out an obvious fact that he's not a bad guy.
Out of the real known Sonic characters, like, they just jumped the gun, saying it was like, he's a bad guy, he's with Eggman, he's evil.
They all jumped the gun, but Big. Every single one of them jumps the gun, but Big.
That's like everyone was like pointing fingers, they were questioning, it's like, nah, I don't trust this guy, he has bad motives. Like, what bad motives? He didn't really prove anything.
Yes. And which comes to something else that didn't make sense about the game. Unexplained plots. How did we get there from here? How did this move from there? How does everything work? This is why we need cinematics. How are we supposed to know what happens in the game if we can't see it and have to look at a puppet show?
And puppet shows really don't explain much, especially, like, I would say there's a filler here and there, but it doesn't really explain that filler.
Nope. And oh man, let's not forget about the lazy ending they used too.
Oh god, I still have nightmares about it. Ugh.
Yeah, Eggman's flagship blows up, but it's done in such a corny way that you can't even take it seriously. The game is certainly directed more to kids, that's for sure. But for me, as a big-time Sonic fan, I want there to be more effort. I know they tried that in Forces, but they failed at rushing the game.
Because they just want to rush until demand for it, but this version of a story, like, it's questionable. Like, I've been confused ever since I started the story, but I was like, wait a second, where's Cream? Why is Cream not with you, Amy and Silver and Blaze? How did you guys get here? What are you doing with Vector?
Oh yeah, if you guys are all wondering, Amy is annoying. No, she's not.
It's, let's just say it's a character she played a role in Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised this time too she's not obsessed with Sonic, like, oh, I'm with Sonic, I'm racing with him.
No, all that, I want Sonic this and that. That shit sailed years ago. That character of Amy sailed a long time ago. Not one. I mean, not once did I. I mean, after Sonic Boom, not once have I actually heard Amy complain about just wanting Sonic a lot. There, I mean, of course, there was that Lego Dimensions part, but not once did she all like say, "I'm gonna go on a date with you," all that stuff. Or, and the only thing I heard her from Sonic was that she was about to fall, and then she calls out his name, like, and that's the only cringe part I can think of. I'm like, jeez. After that, there's no more. Sonic Forces didn't have it. It was just her being shocked that he's alive. That's it. And after that, it just seems like the Sonic creators are really trying to make her less of a cringe and not the basic basic weird humor of the game like it used to be.
It's like, I know Amy's like known like to pester Sonic because all she wants is just to go on a date with him, and she acted that like in Riders too. It's like she's obsessed. Like even Sonic put her in danger towards the end of Riders, but all the same, like showing her that she has attitude in this based on her Sonic Boom role, she acts like more like Princess Daisy than Princess Peach this time around.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I mean by all the characters are out of character. Everyone acts differently now. I mean, Shadow still kind of acts like Shadow, but more like the Sonic Boom retarded version.
There's that voice. Ugh,
it really breaks my heart that Sega has turned our favorite characters into this.
I was just heartbroken when I heard Silver and Shadow. I truly was.
Yeah, and let's talk about Silver's voice. Apparently, Silver's voice actor was changed again, even though I can't remember. But yes, in Sonic Forces, Silver's voice was changed to Quentin Flynn, that actor. And now in this game, he's changed to everyone's favorite Black Cat from Miraculous Ladybug, Cat Noir. And he also did the voice of Meliodas from the 7 Deadly Sins on Netflix. If anyone's never watched it, I recommend it. Of course, you must be a bit older to watch it.
But if you haven't watched Miraculous Ladybug, I recommend that show too.
Which is also on Netflix.
And it's like you don't have to be old, but it's cute and funny.
And a little weird.
Certain episodes, I'll give that.
Especially with their outfits. Sorry, but their outfits.
Here we go again with the outfits.
I'm sorry, but I can't help it. It's just the outfit just doesn't seem like something I would want my kid to watch until he reaches a certain age.
We'll save that for another time.
Yes. And now comes to the main question. Is it worth getting? There's a lot of yes and a lot of no. All depending on what kind of Sonic fan you are and what you expected this game to be.
I'll let you go first.
Alright. As I said before, this game has no cinematics unless you count the opening intro of the game on the PS4 and Xbox One, which, by the way, was not present in the Switch version, surprisingly. Then there's just the gameplay itself. It's fun. You'll have a lot of fun if you enjoy a good Mario Kart clone. And story-wise, it's okay. But characters, they're cringe. But overall, like I said, I'm torn between 6 and 7, so it's partially worth it. But I recommend you playing it more with friends, and not just yourself.
And for my opinion, I would say it's worth getting if you like racing games, and if you're a Sonic fan. And yes, it's kind of like a Mario Kart clone, but this is more intense than any like relaxing Mario Kart game. Because based on what Greg and I did with the online play, it was a lot more fun because there's a few surprising modes of, say, specific races you could set to have the race more enjoyable. It's not like a same old Mario Kart. Okay, pick a character, pick your car, pick a stage. It's completely different. But I would say, based on the characters' interaction, gameplay, music, racetracks, and all, I still give it like an 8 point. I would say like 8.5 out of 10. It's like I still enjoy it all the same. I just enjoy the interactions. Like in most racing games, they don't have that interaction between characters,
And they can be sometimes funny.
in which we don't see much humor in most games either.
No. So I can at least tell you this. The game has humor. It's just the cinematics is what kind of throws it off.
Yeah, I agree on that part. As myself.
Well, that's pretty much our review on Team Sonic Racing, or Team Sonic Drifting. That's what I like to call it.
Basically after the Tokyo games are released, this whole event's gonna be called Tokyo Racing Drift, whatever.
Which I'm actually kind of looking forward to from what I've seen.
Oh, the Tokyo games?
Yeah,
I already got my pre-ordered.
I have not. But lucky for me, it's not so popular here in my area, so I can wait as long as I need.
You're lucky. I had to do right on the spot. It's very popular after Rio was a sold out.
Ooh, dang. Well, at least it's good to know that the games are actually popular.
Oh yeah. When it comes to like party games, especially with Olympics, yeah, they're extremely popular over in my area.
By the way, did you see that video I sent you about the feet?
I need to get you back for that on our next gaming night.
What? What'd I do?
You know what you did.
I'm sorry, what?
I'll tell you later, don't worry.
Alright, well, guys, this is a story we'll talk about another time. I promise you that. Just might take us months later. But maybe we'll talk about it when the actual Mario and Sonic Tokyo games comes out for the Switch. Until then, thank you all for watching. Cece?
It's really fun. Like, be sure to catch like some gaming nights. Mostly gonna be on like YouTube, hopefully, or on Twitch on Greg's channel. But we're gonna have a lot more fun doing more online gameplay.
It's mostly going to be on Twitch since OBS isn't working well with YouTube these days.
Alright, then Twitch it is. We're going to see a lot of racing. Hopefully we hear more of Greg Rajala's shadow, as I predict.
Oh, that's precisely what you'll get.
Well, bring it on. I'm ready for a good race.
Well, until then, guys, thank you all for watching, and have a good day, and peace out!
Take care.
Wrong button. Oh, man.
I was like, why did you leave the call for?
I don't know. That was not deliberate. I swear.
When you said peace out, I think you can beat that literally.
All right. Well, sorry about that.